everyone, how you guys doing? I hope you guys have awesome day today. Decker, if you have ready, can you do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. While you had it, go ahead and push that bell for notifications. So, doy. At Gotham at night, the city is quiet and peaceful, but not for long. Suddenly, a group of armed men appeared, causing chaos and destruction. They're led by the notorious mercenary DeathStroke. In the Batcave at night, the Batcomputer lights up as it detects the disturbance in the city. Batman quickly suits up and heads out to stop the criminals. In Gotham streets at night, Batman arrives on the scene and begins taking down the armed men with his expert martial arts skills. But Deathstroke walks out of the shadows watching Batman take his armed thugs on with ease. Suddenly, Deathstroke pulls out his pistol and shoots Batman in the back. Realizing that Batman's suit is bulletproof, Deathstroke says to himself, "Interesting." Batman immediately turns around and throws batarangs at Deathstroke, but Deathstroke vanishes. As soon as Batman walks up towards the very spot Deathstroke was at, Batman turns around and sees Deathstroke about to strike him. Batman blocks his blows and he feels every single strike thrown at him. Feels like a baseball bat hitting him over and over. Batman realized that Deathstroke had superhuman strength, but luckily Batman is fast enough to dodge and block every single blow that's thrown at him. Then Batman moves in closer to Deathstroke, using his brutal quick strikes, but gets his right arm caught and thrown 10 feet through a clothing store. Deathstroke proves to be a formidable opponent, easily matching Batman's moves. Batman jumps out of the window. Batman replies, "Who are you working for?" Deathstroke says, "That's for me to know and you to find out, Mr. Wayne." The two emerge in a fierce fight, with Deathstroke's advanced weaponry giving him an advantage, but Batman is now on to back down and he uses his gadgets and intelligence and outsmart Deathstroke. Then Deathstroke throws a flashbanger on the ground and blinds Batman for a brief moment and disappears. In the Batcave, Bruce analyzes the footage of the fights and realizes that Deathstroke is after something or someone in Gotham. But finally, he searches Deathstroke's alias and finds out that his real name is Slade Wilson, and former Azayas, which means he's ex-military for Australian intelligence, and was experimented on with a serum called Mirakuru, but also massacred his entire unit and became a hired mercenary. So then he comes up with a plan to lure Deathstroke out in the open. Bruce Wayne says to Alfred, "It appears I have set up a trap for Slade Wilson. Call Lucius Fox and bait him with the EMP generalizers to Gotham storage unit right away, Mr. Wayne. And if things go south, place a tracker on it." At Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne is in a meeting with his company executives when he receives a call from Alfred informing him Deathstroke's attack on the city. Bruce excuses himself and he rushes to the Batcave in Gotham streets at night. But things take a turn when Deathstroke reveals that he has kidnapped Alfred. He calls Bruce up from Alfred's phone and demands that Batman hands over the EMP weapon in exchange for Alfred's life. And maybe the city won't be missing a few heads from some of your employees, Mr. Wayne. Batman replies, "I won't let you harm innocent people." Deathstroke laughs. Then Alfred will pay the price. Without hesitation, Batman tells him to meet him at Gotham's storage unit and confronts Deathstroke and gives him the weapon, and he disappears with the weapon, and Batman has the tracker on it. Once he heads back to the Batcave and traces Slade over to Gotham Docks. Now at Deathstroke's hideout. Batman infiltrates the hideout and finds Alfred tied up. He quickly frees him, and they both come face to face with Deathstroke. Batman replies, "You're not leaving here with that weapon." Deathstroke says in a sinister voice, "We'll see about that." A final epic battle ensues between Batman and Deathstroke with the weapon as a key to victory. Deathstroke used the EMP weapon on Batman, but the tracker on the weapon shoots a small syringe at his neck, and it's key to Deathstroke's superhuman strength, and now his powers are gone. Deathstroke replies as he leans against a crate, and takes out the syringe from his neck. "What'd you do to me?" Alfred administered here. "When we found out about your powers, Deathstroke pulls out MP5 and shoots at Batman and Alfred in rage, but they took cover behind a crate. Then Deathstroke walks around in a warehouse slowly and Batman lands on top of Deathstroke, disarming him and brutally punches him in the face multiple times over and over. Deathstroke kicks Batman, pulls out his sword, and Batman blocks. Every time Deathstroke strikes at his sword with his Bariscus, in a fierce fight among the two, striking hard blows at each other, trying to kill the other person and not hold him back. Deathstroke eagerly tries to impale Batman with his sword, but ends up impaling loose wires from a generator box. He electrocuted Deathstroke, causing him to hit the ground hard. In the end, Batman emerges victorious, and Deathstroke is taken down from the count. Surprised by the fact at the rush, Batman rushes over to see if Alfred is okay. But it turns out that Deathstroke disappeared from that very warehouse. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel. And yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.